It is a true honor to stand before you, to look out and see the fire that still burns in your eyes, even if it feels like a flicker right now. I want to ask you something, not as a speaker to an audience, but as one human being to another. Will you be truly honest with yourself just for this moment? How many of you have ever woken up in the quiet blue-gray light of dawn, before the world has started its noisy chorus, and felt a hollow ache deep in your chest? An ache that whispers a terrifying truth, that the person you are is not the person you were born to be. How many of you feel that gnawing sense of a life unlived, a song unsung, a greatness trapped inside you, beating against your ribs like a caged bird? You can feel it, can't you? That immense untapped reservoir of power, of talent, of pure, raw potential, but something holds you back. It's like you're standing in front of a locked door, and you know everything you've ever wanted is on the other side. But the key is nowhere to be found. You try to force it, you throw your shoulder against it, you scream at it, but day after day you remain on the wrong side of your own life. Well, I am here today to tell you that the key has been in your pocket the entire time. It isn't glamorous, it isn't a lightning strike of inspiration. It is a simple, humble, and earth-shatteringly powerful word: consistency. You see, the world will sell you a beautiful lie. It will tell you that talent is what matters, that genius is born, not made. It will point to the overnight successes and the prodigies. But if you cannot master the simple, profound discipline of showing up every single day, then all the talent, all the intelligence, all the potential in the universe will amount to nothing more than a beautiful tragedy. It will become the ghost that haunts you in those quiet, pre-dawn moments for the rest of your life. I know the weight of that truth because I have carried it on my own shoulders. Believe me when I tell you, I have lived in the graveyard of abandoned dreams. My past is littered with the headstones of half-finished projects and broken promises to myself. There were years when my mind was a raging wildfire of ideas, a brilliant storm of ambition so intense it kept me awake at night. I would launch into new ventures with the force of a tidal wave, convinced that this was the one. I would tell everyone who would listen about the empire I was about to build, the masterpiece I was about to create. And for a week, maybe two, I was unstoppable. But then inevitably the initial flame would begin to flicker. The passion would cool, the first obstacle would appear on the horizon, and the path of least resistance would start singing its sweet, seductive song. My grand proclamations would become quiet embarrassments, and I would slowly, shamefully retreat back into the comfortable prison of my old habits. For the longest time, I blamed my motivation. I thought I just needed a bigger vision, a more exciting goal. But that wasn't it. The problem wasn't the size of the dream, it was the strength of the dreamer. The issue was that I had never forged the single most critical weapon in the arsenal of success, the armor of consistency. I hadn't done the grueling, unglamorous work of training my mind and spirit to endure the boredom, to push through the pain, and to honor the schedule even when my feelings screamed in protest. But the day I finally understood that, the moment I made a sacred vow to myself that I would be consistent no matter what, that was the day the locks on the door began to turn. That was the day the ground beneath my feet stopped shaking and became a solid foundation upon which I could finally, truly begin to build. My friends, please hear me. Consistency is the bedrock. It is the soil from which all greatness grows. It is the invisible, unrelenting force that transforms a tiny seed into a mighty oak. Think about the grandest canyons on this earth. They weren't carved by a single violent earthquake. They were carved by the patient, persistent, unassuming flow of a river, which for millennia did the same thing, day after day after day. That is the power we are talking about. It is the quiet force that separates the person who endlessly talks about writing a book from the person who writes just one page every single day, and one day holds their published novel in their hands. It is the defining line between the dreamer and the doer, the champion and the contender, the person living a life of quiet desperation, and the one living a life of profound fulfillment. And here is the most beautiful part, the part I need you to absorb into the very marrow of your bones. Consistency is not a gift handed out at birth. It is not some mystical quality reserved for the lucky few. No, it is a skill. It is a practice. It is a muscle. And right now your muscle might be weak. It might be atrophied from years of neglect. But just like any muscle, with intentional, focused effort, you can make it the strongest part of you. You can forge it in the fires of your daily commitment until it becomes an unbreakable, unstoppable force for good in your life. But I will not stand here and lie to you. I will not sell you a fantasy. The path to building this muscle is paved with sacrifice. It is a journey that will demand more from you than you ever thought you had to give. Forging consistency means you must become a warrior who fights a battle every single day against the weakest parts of yourself. It means learning to say no, not just to others, but to the tired, lazy, undisciplined voice inside your own head that begs you to take the easy way out. It means saying no to the mindless scrolling, no to the extra hour of sleep, no to the comfortable path of procrastination. It means showing up when it's raining, when you're tired, when you're sick, when you feel utterly and completely defeated. It means pushing through the soul-crushing boredom of repetition, the agonizing sting of self-doubt, the moments of sheer exhaustion when every cell in your body is screaming for you to just stop. And I promise you, those moments will come. They will come for you in the dead of night and in the bright light of day. They are the gatekeepers of your next level. They are the tests designed to see if you are truly worthy of the dreams you claim to want. The truth is, this battle isn't just a matter of willpower. It's a battle against your own biology. Your brain, for all its marvel, is fundamentally a survival machine. It is hardwired over millions of years of evolution with one primary directive: conserve energy, seek comfort, avoid pain. It wants to keep you safe in the cave where things are predictable and known. So, the moment you decide to do something difficult, something new, something that requires effort, and pushes you beyond your current limits, your ancient, primal brain sounds the alarm. It floods your system with resistance. It whispers insidious lies. You're too tired. You can start tomorrow. It's not that important. Who are you kidding anyway? It will do everything in its power to pull you back to the comfortable, familiar shores of your comfort zone. But listen to me. If you want a life that is more than just comfortable, if you crave a life that is extraordinary, remarkable, and truly alive, you must be willing to wage war against that voice. You must be willing to feel the discomfort and move forward anyway. You have to learn to embrace the friction, to welcome the resistance as a sign that you are growing, that you are expanding, that you are evolving. Because on the other side of that wall of resistance, on the other side of that disciplined, consistent, often painful effort, lies a world of reward so profound, a depth of self-respect so powerful, and a sense of fulfillment so complete that it will redefine your entire existence. I can feel the question hanging in the air. I can see it in your eyes. That sounds great, but how? How do I actually do it? I've tried this before. I've had the burst of motivation, I've made the resolutions, and I've always ended up right back where I started. What makes this time any different? I understand that skepticism. I have lived it. And that is why I want to share with you not just platitudes, but the actual architecture of consistency. These are not theories. These are the 3 unbreakable pillars that I use to rebuild my own life from the ground up. The pillars that will support you when your motivation inevitably fails you. These are the laws you must live by if you are serious about transforming your life. The first and most important pillar is this: you must excavate your why. I don't mean a superficial goal like I want to make more money or I want to get in shape. No, I am talking about a reason so deep, so powerful, so emotionally charged that the thought of giving up on it feels like a betrayal of your own soul. Your why is the fuel. Without it, the engine of discipline will eventually sputter and die. When it's 5 a.m. and your bed feels like a warm, safe cocoon, your willpower alone will not be enough to get you out of it. But the image of providing a better life for your children, the burning desire to make your parents proud, the promise you made to your younger self that you would never settle for a life of mediocrity, that is what will throw your feet onto the cold floor. Consistency born from sheer willpower is brittle. It will shatter under pressure. But consistency born from a place of deep, unwavering purpose is flexible, resilient. It is indestructible. It's about anchoring your small daily actions to your biggest, most expansive vision for your life. When you can draw a straight line from the tedious task you're doing right now to the magnificent future you are trying to create, the task itself becomes sacred. It's no longer a chore, it's a brick you are laying for the cathedral of your dreams. So I implore you, do the deep work. Turn off the noise of the world and ask yourself the hard questions. What truly matters to you? What injustice in the world breaks your heart and sets your soul on fire? What legacy do you want to leave behind? What impact do you want your one precious life to have? Go deep. Be brutally honest. Write it down. Feel it. Let it become the sun in your solar system, the gravitational force that pulls you forward when you feel lost in the darkness. Let it be the lighthouse that guides you safely back to shore when the storms of life try to pull you under. Because when your why is clear, the how becomes infinitely easier. The second pillar, and this is one that so many of us try to ignore, is the pillar of radical accountability. We are masters of self-deception. We are brilliant lawyers who can argue our own case for taking the day off, for breaking our promises, for letting ourselves slide. In the quiet courtroom of our own minds, we almost always win. It is just too easy to let ourselves off the hook when no one else is watching. But something magical happens when you bring another person into that courtroom. Something changes when you have to look someone you respect in the eye and tell them, "I didn't do what I said I was going to do." Suddenly, the excuses sound flimsy, the rationalizations crumble, the weight of your commitment becomes real. When you make yourself accountable to someone or something outside of your own fickle feelings, you raise the stakes. You create a powerful external pressure that forces you to align your actions with your intentions. Now let me be very clear about what this means. This is not about shouting your goals from the rooftops and inviting the judgment and unsolicited opinions of the entire world. That can often do more harm than good, inviting doubt and criticism when you are at your most vulnerable. No, I'm talking about creating a small sacred circle of trust. This might be one person, a mentor who has walked the path before you, a coach whose only agenda is your success, or a trusted friend who is on their own journey of growth. It could be a small group of like-minded peers, a band of brothers and sisters who have agreed to hold each other to a higher standard. These are the people who you give permission to call you on your nonsense. These are the people who will not co-sign your excuses. They will cheer for you louder than anyone when you succeed. But more importantly, they will be the ones who lovingly but firmly pick you up, dust you off, and push you back into the arena when you fall. They are your mirror, reflecting back to you not just who you are, but who you have committed to becoming. Having that kind of support system is not a sign of weakness. It is the ultimate strategic advantage. Trying to build the fortress of a disciplined life all by yourself in complete isolation is like trying to win a war single-handedly. It is an act of pure ego. It is an uphill, lonely, and almost impossible battle. Your own internal resistance is a formidable enough enemy. You do not need to fight it alone. The quiet whispers of self-sabotage become much louder in an empty room. But the encouraging voice of an ally, the simple text message that says, "How did it go today?" or "I'm checking in on you," can be the lifeline that pulls you through your darkest moments of doubt. So right now, I want you to think, who can be in your corner? Who in your life believes in the greatness within you, even when you don't? Who will love you enough to not let you settle for less than you are capable of? Find that person, make the call, send the text, ask for their help, be vulnerable. Share your mission with them and give them the sacred duty of holding you accountable to it. This single act can be the difference between another year of broken resolutions and a lifetime of fulfilled promises. This brings us to the third and final pillar, the one where the rubber truly meets the road. It is the pillar of consistent, intentional, and systematic action. At the end of it all, your vision, your why, and your accountability partners are useless without this. Consistency is not an idea, it is not a feeling. It is a physical, tangible result of what you do with your time, day in and day out. It is a set of behaviors. And I know what so many of you are thinking, but I know I need to take action. I've tried. I go hard for a week and then I burn out and crash. And you are absolutely right. The problem is not the action itself, it's the lack of a system for the action. Motivation is a spark. It's a wonderful, powerful feeling, but it is fleeting and unreliable. You cannot build a life on feelings. You must build it on systems, on routines, on non-negotiable habits that you honor whether you feel like it or not. Life is guaranteed to be chaotic. The unexpected will always happen. There will always be fires to put out, distractions to deal with, and reasons to get knocked off course. If your plan for success relies on you feeling motivated every day, you have already lost. You need a structure so robust, a routine so ingrained that you can fall back on it and execute automatically, especially on the days you feel your worst. So what does this architecture of action look like in the real world? It looks like identifying the one or two most critical tasks that will actually move the needle toward your goal and scheduling them into your calendar as if they were a life or death meeting with the most important person in the world, because they are. It means guarding that time with the ferocity of a mother bear protecting her cubs. It means creating a detailed, step-by-step battle plan for your goals, breaking them down from intimidating mountains into small, manageable hills, and then into single, actionable steps you can take today. It could mean creating a ritual of accountability, like sending a daily progress report to your coach or mentor, a simple act that forces you to confront whether you did the work or not. There is no hiding from a blank email. This system becomes your fortress against the chaos of life. It is your pre-decided plan that removes the need for daily decision-making and willpower because you already decided yesterday what you were going to do today. And within this system, we find the ultimate superpower, the force of habit. When you can take these consistent, intentional actions and repeat them so many times that they become automatic, subconscious routines, you have reached the holy grail of personal transformation. Think about it. We are all just a collection of habits. The vast majority of your day is run on autopilot. You don't consciously think about how to brush your teeth or drive your car. You just do it. The goal is to make the work that leads to your dreams just as effortless, just as ingrained. Can you imagine getting to a point where your daily workout, your hour of writing, or your practice session feels as natural and necessary as your morning cup of coffee, where not doing it feels strange and uncomfortable? That is not a fantasy. That is the predictable result of intentional, repetitive action over time. You are literally rewiring the neural pathways in your brain, carving new grooves of behavior until the path of discipline becomes easier to walk than the path of procrastination. That is when you know you have won. I know the next question is, okay, but how do I forge those habits? How do I make them stick? Let me give you a simple three-part framework that is brutally effective. First, you must start ridiculously small. Your ego will fight you on this. It will tell you to go big, to overhaul your entire life overnight. That is a trap. It leads to overwhelm and failure. Instead, I want you to focus on one, maybe two, new habits at a time and make the initial version of that habit so easy, it's almost laughable. If you want to read more, don't commit to a book a week. Commit to 1 page a day. If you want to start exercising, don't commit to an hour at the gym. Commit to doing 1 push-up when you get out of bed. The goal here is not the result. It is to build the identity of a person who shows up. It is to win the battle of starting. You can build the intensity later, but first, you must master the art of showing up. Second, you must make it easy. We are lazy by nature, so rig the game in your favor. Reduce the friction between you and your desired habit as much as possible. If you want to do that 1 push-up in the morning, sleep in your workout clothes. If you want to read 1 page, put the book on your pillow so you literally have to touch it before you go to sleep. If you want to drink more water, fill up a giant bottle the night before and put it on your nightstand. Conversely, increase the friction for your bad habits. If you want to stop endlessly scrolling on your phone, leave it in another room. The goal is to make the right thing the easy thing, to design an environment where your consistency is the path of least resistance. You are setting up a series of tripwires for success. And third, you must stack your habits. This is where you become a true architect of your behavior. Look for an existing solid habit in your daily routine and attach your new desired habit directly to it. Your brain is already wired for the first habit, so you're just adding one more car to an already moving train. For instance, after I brush my teeth every morning, a habit I don't even think about, I will immediately do my one push-up. Or while my morning coffee is brewing, something that happens every single day, I will write in my journal for 5 minutes. After I take my dog for his evening walk, I will listen to 10 minutes of an educational podcast. You see, you are linking the new, uncertain behavior to an old, certain one. By starting comically small, making it outrageously easy, and stacking your habits onto existing routines, you are no longer relying on the fickle winds of motivation. You are creating an elegant, automated system for success, a system that works for you instead of against you, building momentum one tiny, effortless win at a time. But even with the best systems in the world, my friends, I must be honest with you. This journey will not be a straight line. There will be days when you fall. There will be moments when you slip back into old patterns. The resistance will rise up, and on some days it will win the battle. And in that moment, the voice of shame will be deafening. It will tell you that you've failed, that you're a fraud, that you should just give up because you don't have what it takes. That is the most dangerous moment of all. And I am here to tell you that it is okay. It is not just okay, it is a necessary and unavoidable part of the process. The goal is not perfection. The goal is persistence. True consistency isn't about never falling. It's about how quickly you get back up. It's about not letting one bad day turn into two. Anything in this life that is truly worth achieving will demand that you stretch beyond what is comfortable. It will force you to face your deepest fears, your most persistent doubts, and it will require you to grind through the brutal, unglamorous, difficult moments. But you must understand this. When you make that sacred commitment to force yourself to be consistent, to show up even after you've fallen, that is when the universe begins to conspire in your favor. That is the moment the real transformation begins. It's in those moments, when you choose discipline over despair, that you begin to forge a new identity. You are no longer just a person with a dream. You are a person of character. You are a person who honors their own word. You are tapping into a well of inner strength, of focus, of sheer grit and resilience that you never even knew you possessed. And believe me when I tell you this, the rewards waiting for you on the other side of that consistent, grueling effort are beyond your wildest imagination. I'm not just talking about external achievements, though those will come. I am talking about a fundamental shift in who you are. I am talking about a level of self-respect, a quiet, unshakable confidence, and a profound sense of inner peace that most people will search for their entire lives and never find. I want you to close your eyes for just a moment. Seriously, close your eyes. I want you to imagine, with every ounce of your being, what it would truly feel like to finally become the person you were meant to be. Imagine achieving that one goal, that dream that has been whispering to you for years. Feel the overwhelming sense of pride welling up in your chest. Feel the solid ground of confidence beneath your feet, knowing that you had the courage, the discipline, and the fortitude to see it through all the pain and all the doubt. Imagine how it would feel to look at yourself in the mirror and see not a person of broken promises, but a person of their word, a warrior, an architect of their own life. Imagine how that transformation would ripple out, healing your relationships, inspiring your children, and giving your entire existence a deep, unshakable sense of meaning and purpose. This is not a daydream. This is not a fantasy. That feeling, that life, that version of you is real, and it is waiting for you. All it requires is your decision, the decision to force yourself today to lay the first brick. I know how hard this path is because I have walked it. There were so many times when I was drowning in my own excuses, convinced that I was destined to be a person of unfulfilled potential. I felt trapped, weak, and powerless against my own worst instincts. But the moment I made that one singular decision, the decision to cultivate true, unwavering, non-negotiable consistency in my life, was the moment the tectonic plates of my reality began to shift. And I am telling you, with every fiber of my being, the results have been nothing short of miraculous. I have built things I never thought I could build. I have gone places I never thought I would go. I have overcome obstacles that once seemed like insurmountable mountains. I've had the profound privilege of seeing my work touch the lives of people I will never even meet. And when people ask me for the secret, they're always disappointed because they want a magic pill. But the secret isn't sexy. The common thread woven through every single success, every breakthrough, every victory has been that one simple, powerful word: consistency. The raw, unglamorous ability to show up when it's easy, and more importantly, to show up when it's hell. That, my friends, is the secret sauce. That is the concrete foundation upon which every great life, every great legacy is ultimately built. So I am going to ask you one more time, and I want you to answer from the deepest part of your soul. Are you ready to force yourself to be consistent? Are you truly ready, right here in this moment, to draw a line in the sand and declare that your old life of excuses, distractions, and abandoned dreams is officially over? Are you ready to start taking the small, deliberate, disciplined actions that will, over time, lead you to your most magnificent destiny? Because this world, right now, is starving for your greatness. It is desperate for more people like you, people with good hearts and brilliant minds, who are willing to do the hard, necessary work to make a real difference. The world doesn't need more dreamers. It needs more doers. It needs more individuals who are willing to push through the noise, to embrace the struggle, and to create the kind of positive, lasting change that we all so desperately crave. And I know with absolute certainty that it is not going to be easy. I know there will be dark days. There will be days when your faith in yourself falters, when the challenge feels too great, when the weight feels too heavy to bear. But I also know something else. I know that deep within you, beneath all the layers of fear and doubt and past failures, there is a wellspring of power. There is a core of unshakable strength, a burning ember of passion and purpose that, if you can just tap into it, can overcome any obstacle, conquer any fear, and achieve any dream. You have the power within you to do this. You have always had it. So let us make a pact. Let's make a promise, not just to me, but to ourselves and to each other, right here and now. Let us commit with every ounce of our being to forcing ourselves to be consistent. No more excuses. No more waiting for tomorrow. Let us be each other's accountability. Let's be the support system that lifts each other up when we fall. Let's be the collective force that reminds the world what is truly possible when a group of dedicated, determined, and consistent individuals unite in the pursuit of becoming more. Because the heartbreaking truth is this: the only prison you have ever been in is the one you built for yourself. The only limits that have ever held you back are the ones you have accepted as true. And the moment you decide to force yourself to be consistent in the pursuit of what sets your soul on fire, that is the moment the prison walls crumble. That is the moment the true magic begins. So, are you ready? Are you finally truly ready to step into your magnificent power, to unleash the full, terrifying, beautiful force of your potential, and to build the life you have, until now, only dared to imagine in your quietest moments? Then let's stop talking about it. Let's be about it. The work begins now. The future is ours for the taking. Thank you.